grab lunch.
Yes.
You have to get known, because if you just walk past them or by their office, they're not going to acknowledge you. They're not going to care, you know. If you go in there, how are you doing? How's the business? Oh, I have a house coming on the market next week. You guys, can you do the open house Saturday? We had it happen like 3 times. Because they see your face and they want to talk to you, you know?
Yes.
But if you walk past them, they're like, oh, I don't know who she is.
Someone told me they have an open house, they think, but it's because I
talked to
them
them.
Yes.
In their office like a couple of times.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Keep ready. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and I'm gonna help you after this class. I'm gonna send out a notice to everybody saying that you all have completed this training and that you're ready, willing, and able. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so preparation. So once you've selected the house, then you're going to prepare for it. We're going to suggest you advertise the home 3 days before with the time sign only. Okay? Have you all done that? Basically, what that says is, it basically says, open house this Sunday, 2 to 5 p.m.
No, I told him we should do it, but he
did it in the rain.
I seen yours, yeah.
Did you? Okay. In the rain. Yeah, basically you're just alerting the neighbors, and if it's a high traffic area, anybody driving past, oh, I'd like to see that house. So you're just building your traffic, okay? Very important. By the way, in some areas, and I don't know if the Woodlands, but some neighborhoods restrict the number of signs in the front yard, and they'll only let you do 1. So in that case, you would want to do a rider on the for sale sign saying open house this Sunday and the time. Okay, or Saturday or whatever it is. Okay? Here we go, number 2. Inform 50 neighbors of the open house. Okay? You're shaking your head no. What does that mean?
Didn't do it.
Didn't do it. Okay.
Through the rain for that.
Okay, you put the sign up and went back.
And I didn't either, but I want to.
I wanted
Okay.
to, yeah.
Well, we're going to go through the dialogue for that in just a moment. Yes?
I'm sorry, you actually mentioned something like we can do, say we have the open house at 1 o'clock, we can say explicitly open for the neighbors.
Preview.
Preview, yes, sorry.
Yes.
Preview for the neighbors from 12 to 1 and have wine or
Yes.
just so the neighbors can get to know you. Not
Yes.
necessarily looking at the house, but I mean, he came up with a great
Yeah.
idea.
The preview is not part of this strategy, but it works.
Yeah.
So, and particularly if you let them know it is a neighbors only preview 30 minutes prior to the scheduled start, yeah, they'll come out. You may get 20, 30 people in. Wine and cheese or whatever, but let them know. Let them know. We're going to have heavy hors d'oeuvres or whatever it is. Let them know. They'll come. Okay? So, by the way, if you did this, you informed 50 neighbors of the open house, you don't even have to hold the open house. I'm not suggesting that, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that. But, yeah. No, here's my point. If you actually go knock on 50 doors, you are going to get value and more out of that open house before the open house ever starts. You're going to open up. Here we go. The successful people consistently open the door to new relationships, literally opening the door. And when we go through the dialogue and you see what you're saying to these people when you're knocking on the door, you've just blown yourself up in terms of their perception of a quality realtor. So you can pick up listings or buyer clients right out of that.
What time, has anybody done the knocking on the door ever? I've knocked on doors for other things, but what time would you say is a good time?
Evening is best, once people are home, but not in the dark. So in that little window, you know, 5:30, 6 to 8 o'clock. Yeah.
I love that excuse too, because before, it's been suggested that we do that. Just to go ask if they know of anybody or if they're interested in, but not with a real reason. This gives you a reason. It's like I have an excuse to
Yes.
knock on their door.
Yes.
I wouldn't go knock on someone's door otherwise, but if I have a reason, say this is, I'm just
Yes.
learning the neighborhood, then I'm okay.
Yes.
I really like the preview thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, preparation. Buy a clipboard if you don't have one. Print an open house register. We give you a sample in this manual. You can come up with something much better. Okay, but this, to get you started, you can buy a registration book at Portofino Har Office. There are even apps for an iPad if you want to digitally sign people in. You can just Google Open House app.
The only problem is with the registration part.
Yes.
When they don't provide that information. And a lot of people in the Woodlands are doing it right now.
Yes.
You tell them to fill out the
Yes.
document. You can't just stand on their head and be like, oh, you forgot that.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't work.
Okay, well let me address that right now, because we'll probably come back to it later, but I don't want to lose that because that's a very important point. Whatever form of registration you're using, you need to fill out the first 2 or 3 spaces completely with fictitious buyers. Okay? Did you? Okay.
Because I had read that. Maybe did I read? I don't
Yes,
know.
it's in here. It's in the notes.
So I did that. And yeah, I told you I had 0. But the loan people were.
Yeah, they got all excited about that.
And I'm like, and it was totally bogus. But I didn't want it to have my, even if it was not bogus,
Yes.
the people that would sign it, I wouldn't want my information given to everybody to be
Yes.
bombarded. So I told him, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Yes.
Or if you'd like to provide your own, you know,
Yes.
list or sign-in registry for someone, you know,
Yes.
I could ask someone if they're interested. So it's just funny because I got called out on my bogus list.
Yeah.
And then I had to like scramble because I'm not used to that. And I was like, no, I don't feel comfortable.
Well, you handled that beautifully. But people will typically follow what other people are doing. If you don't believe that, fill it in with just a name and a phone number, and see what you'll get after that. A name and a phone number. Fill it out with a name, a phone number, an email address, and a home address, and that's what you will tend to get.
Yeah, I think it depends on the form of the list that you're having. Because I have one of those Portofino horror
Yes.
books, and you would have to flip back.
Yes.
So what I usually do is I skip the first 5, 6 pages and just close them. So
Yes.
we start at page 6,
Yes.
thinking there was 5 people.
Of course.
But again, it is a very it asks a lot of questions.
Yes.
And if you don't flip back, you don't see what the other one had.
Right.
I actually don't like it. I bought it too. I think it's intimidating. It asks
Yeah.
kind of too many questions. Like, are you ready to buy? Are you pre-qualified?
Okay.
Kind of like.
I honestly would ask 3 questions. Name, phone number, email address. That's it. That's really simple, and I would fill in several like that with legitimate looking information. It doesn't overwhelm people, and that's all you need.
I printed mine off the internet and it did ask those, you know, the pertinent phone number and an email.
Yeah.
So,
I wouldn't ask about qualified, price range, amenities, because that's what you want to cover in your face-to-face meeting outside the open house. Okay? So just save that. All right. Open house register, tax record, and MLS sheet. So you've got the data, which served you well. Summary report pages for all active homes in the area, because it's extremely rare that somebody will buy off an open house. But statistics show that 50% of everybody who walks into an open house will buy within 12 months. They're going to buy something. Half of those people. So you want to be able to demonstrate a knowledge of all the homes in the area. Okay? And if you show them something else they like, to schedule a showing after your face-to-face appointment. Okay? And then a basic set of pricing tools. And what that means for us right now is a CMA. A CMA on the home you're holding open. In the rare chance that they fall in love with that home and want to make an offer, you need to be able to justify an offer price, okay, and consult them accordingly. So prepare a CMA on that property, okay? All right. All that's your preparation. That's getting ready to get ready, okay? Now, action. Here we go. Put out plenty of signs on the way to the open house. Make it easy to find. Arrive 20 minutes early before the scheduled open house. Or if you're doing a preview, 20 minutes or 30 minutes before that. Now, what are you going to do there in that preparation time? You're going to turn on all the lights, including the closets. Light it up. Okay? Make that electric dial spin. Open all the drapes and blinds. Who likes a dark, dank, ugly, dreary house? Nobody. Open it up. Light and bright. Adjust the thermostat to 72 degrees or whatever is appropriate and comfortable. Flush all the toilets. Try. Dee Dee had experience. See, there's nothing like experience to bring perspective, is it? Yeah, she learned that there are plumbing issues, okay? Flush the toilets, by the way, before and after. At least check them, okay? You don't want the homeowner getting a little surprise. You never know. Okay, hold on here. We should pop right back. There we go. All right. Burn a nice smelling candle if needed. In some homes it's needed more than others, but that should be part of your kit. You should have a little open house kit, a little box or crate or something with all your supplies. You want a system so you don't have to invent this every time. It's got your register and your candle and all your tools. Soft music on low if appropriate. If they've got a killer sound system all around and you want to set the mood, you can do that, okay? And then thank you notes for everyone who registers. We'll give you some content for that, okay? So there it is, selection, preparation, action. Those are the key 3 steps. And now we're going to get into it, get down into the details. So when placing the time sign, so this is 3 days out if that timing works. If not, if you're doing a Sunday open house, you could do the neighbor notification the day before. You could do it on a Saturday, okay? Or if you're doing a Saturday open house, you could do it on Friday evening. But 3 days is ideal. Sample dialogue. Here we go. Hi, my name is Dee Dee with RE/MAX, and I'm simply stopping by to let you know I'll be holding the Smith's Home Open at 123 Easy Street on Sunday from 3 to 6, okay? Important, remember I said it's underlined and bolded, it's key. As an extra service to the Smiths, I'm informing their closest neighbors in case you may know of someone at this time interested in moving into this area. If you do, I'd love to see them at the open house on Sunday. Here's my card. By the way, you know what else I'd give them right now? Alana? A property flyer.
Yes.
Okay? Because what do neighbors do when you put out a flyer box? They rate it. That's right. The real buyers can't ever get them because the neighbors have taken them. Say, and I also brought you a property flyer with complete information on the home, okay? If you or anyone you know ever has a real estate related need, don't hesitate to call. You're just planting a referral seed. You want to do that from an initial conversation with people. It was a pleasure meeting you and I hope you have a great evening, okay? So this is presuming you're not doing a preview event. This is just your standard open house, okay? You've just opened the door to 50 more relationships than you would have otherwise opened the door to, putting your business in a much better place at the end of the day than at the beginning. By the way, that's what it's all about. That's what real estate's all about. When you put your head on your pillow at night, is my business in a better place? Was I proactive today? Did I make progress? Did I move forward? Okay? If you do this, knock on 50 doors, you took a giant leap forward. Okay, so welcoming dialogue. Once we're in the home, okay, so we've done our prep, we've invited the neighbors, we've turned on the candles, flushed the toilets. As lookers enter the home, say this. Hey, my name is Maria with RE/MAX. Come in and make yourself at home. The seller would like a record of everyone who's been through the house today. And you can tweak that verbiage. You could say for security purposes, the owner has requested. Is there a security issue here? There is. People steal things from open houses all the time. Now, you've already counseled your seller to secure all valuables, right? And that includes not only money and jewelry and guns, but prescription drugs, all those kind of things. They should be secured, locked up, and tucked away. But nevertheless, it was actually headline news this past week in Houston about people, it wasn't an open house, but people pretending to be realtors and getting into sellers' homes, setting themselves up for a burglary later, okay, opening the back door, unlocking it, that type thing. In an open house that happens. Not only can they take things while they're there, but they'll unlatch a window or a door. And so would it be helpful to have a record of every person who came through? Okay, if they're burglarizing, they may not put down their legitimate information, but you got fingerprints, right? it may be enough to scare them off from doing that. Like, oh, I just put my prints all over that, okay? So there is a legitimate security concern, and I wouldn't hesitate to use that language, okay? I would also appreciate any comments you have regarding the home on your way out. So Dee Dee, here you're setting the stage. I want to connect with you once you've gone through the home, okay? So you've set an expectation that we're going to have another conversation. So, okay, do not play tour guide. We do not recommend you walk through the house with them, okay? And part of that, Dee Dee, is so that you don't miss conversational opportunities coming in and going out. We're going to coach you to position yourself near the front door in an appropriate place, but to stay there so that nobody can actually go in or out without going past you.
I didn't do that. That's what I should.
Usually I tell the people that they can go look through the house, and I'll be in the kitchen.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that I have coffee, cookies.
Yes.
The sign-in sheet in the kitchen.
Yeah.
See, that was one of, you know, the layout,
Yeah.
but I was in the kitchen.
Yep.
Partly because there's no furniture, and I had set up like a little
Yes.
area, and I had a chair there and all that.
Right.
I probably should have.
If there's any conceivable way to get near the front door, and in these luxury homes there should be a nice entry. Yeah, not that one. Okay, that's part of the issue, huh? But you want to position yourself as a gatekeeper. Okay, they can't get in or out without going past you. Okay, yeah, that's right. Pushed them back.
Security.
The whole time?
Okay.
Well, he came in and out, but pretty much, yeah.
Aw.
So here's another issue that you brought up, Dee Dee. When you're speaking with someone and new lookers enter the home, you want to interrupt your conversation, okay, and turn and acknowledge the new people with this dialogue. Hello and welcome. The seller would like a record of everyone who enters the home today, and hand them the clipboard right there. So you're putting them in a position where they're really almost going to have to be rude if they don't take it as they walk in and complete the information. Okay? All right. So once lookers tour the home, so they go in, they've come back, you're going to answer all of their questions, identify exactly where they are in the buying process, and then close or follow up accordingly. These are 3 key steps. And the first 2 speak to your role. This is an important learning point in the actual open house. Your first role is as an information giver. First role. If they're buyers, they're going to want information about this particular home, about the neighborhood, about the taxes, about the school district, about the pool heater system, whatever. So you need to know as much about that property, the neighborhood, the community as possible. And that's what we're going to go through the dialogue, but you're going to provide information. Key role, and that's the first role. At some point in the conversation, which we'll identify in a moment, you're going to change roles. And you're no longer going to be the information giver. Now you're going to be the labeler. And who are you labeling? The looker. Oh, you're good. You're good. Okay, and there's 3 labels. 4 labels that you can put on them. Okay, and I don't know that you might want to write this down, just right across the page on your blank page there. First of all is will buy and ready now. Will buy and ready now. Okay, we're labeling. Second label, will buy short term. In other words, 1 to 3 months out. The third label is will buy longer term, longer than 3 months, greater than 3 months. And the fourth category is will not buy, not a buyer. Okay? So once you've supplied information, loaded them up, boom, 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 you switch hats and you're going through this grid in your mind. Okay, are they a buyer? If so, ready now, short term, longer term, or not a buyer. Okay? Because everything you do after that depends upon that label that you attach to them. Okay? All right. I promised you role play and I haven't given you any yet. Y'all want to try this dialogue? This is important. Can you do this dialogue? Are you comfortable with this dialogue? It starts right here. This is first impression.
Do you want us to read it? Read it out loud?
You are ready, aren't you? Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want everybody to do this. I want you to read it on your page. Get the idea. Do not try to memorize it word for word. Get the idea, the concept here, and then I want you to close your book. Okay? So take a minute and read through it. Internalize it. Okay, you see the three key points. First of all, it's just the welcome. Come in, my name is, make yourself at home. Second point, for security purposes, the seller has requested a record of everyone who visits the house today. Please complete this information. I'd also appreciate any comments on your way out. Okay? And then the third point, take your time, look around, let me know what you think. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. So you're setting yourself up for your information giver role. Okay? All right, let's close our books. I'll stand in front of the screen, block the words. Okay. You ready? You want to do it with me, Alana?
No.
Okay. Here we go. Well, I'm walking in.
You're like, no.
Hi, my name's Alana with Remax. Come on in and take a look around. First, I'd ask if you would please just sign this register for security purposes. The seller has asked that you fill this information out for me.
Okay.
And do the clipboard.
Great. Third piece, somebody help her out?
So, you're letting me fill out.
Sure.
Do I keep talking?
Sure. Okay, here we go. Take your time, look around, let me know what you think. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Okay? All right. Maria? Okay. I'm walking in. Here we go. Hi, my name is.
Hi, my name is Maria with Remax. Come in and make yourself at home.
Great.
The seller would like to take a.
The seller has asked.
The seller had asked
Uh-huh.
a record of everyone who has toured the home today.
Great.
So if you could please sign my guest register.
That'd be great.
Take a look around. If you have any comments or if you have any suggestions or questions,
Questions?
I'd be happy to help you.
Excellent. Did that feel comfortable?
A little bit. I felt like I got stuck on something.
Okay.
I was nervous when you were doing it, so I know.
I forgot what comes next.
Okay. All right. I'll pick on the rest of y'all later, but you two did fantastic. Okay? All right. Here we go. Providing relevant information. Again, we're still in our information giver role here. When answering looker questions, always follow your answer with the question. Key point. So, well, we'll go through the dialogue, but you want to stay engaged. You want to stay conversational. You don't want it just to be you answer the question and the conversation dies, okay? So once they've toured the home, they've gone through, here's your initial information giver question. Well, what did you think about the home? This is not rocket science dialogue, is it? Okay. Well, hey, what'd you think of the home? What'd you think? It's nice. How much are they asking for the home? The list price is $150,000. What did we just do? We gave them the information. That's right. But now we follow up with a question. Does that fit your price range? Okay. So we stay in control. We give and now we take. That's right. So yes. Well, what school district is this in? Well, this home is in the Klein School District. Gave information, but now we ask for it. Is that a desirable district for you? Okay. Well, yes, it is, but what about the property taxes? Well, the property taxes are $9,000 per year. Does that fit your budget? Are you comfortable with that? Okay? So you give and take. No, that's a little high for us. Okay? So you've been playing what role? Information giver. Okay, these are easy questions. There's only two options. You've been playing information giver. When you hear the word no, and we just heard our first one, okay? They liked the price range, they liked the school district, the taxes are a little high, so they said no. So when you hear no, you shift your role and you move from information giver to labeler, okay? So here we go. Upon hearing no, you must immediately switch roles to that of labeler by asking the looker, well, are you currently in the market for a new home? Okay? Now we're looking for information to figure out which category they drop into. Now here's the labeling dialogue flow chart that goes through all the options, all the potential dialogue that could take place after that lead-in question. Are you currently in the market for a new home? Okay, they could say yes, they could say no, and they could say, well, we're just looking, okay, not give you a direct answer. So here's the conversation tree that could come out of each one of those. And the bulk of your manual is going deep on this dialogue. This flow chart, by the way, it's kind of like the abridged version. This might be a great page to have with you in the open house. You don't want to be in there with your whole manual doing this, okay? But to just do a quick review while they're touring the home or as they're approaching the front door, this could be extremely valuable to you. So I'm going to give you the overview here and then we'll go deeper in the following pages. So are you currently in the market for a new home? Yes. Okay, it's a potential answer. You'd love to hear that one. Okay, by the way, what is the typical question a realtor asks? Are you currently in the market for a home? Yeah, I think so. What's next out of a... There you go. There you go. We would call that typical, and we are always going to coach you to move away from typical, okay? Typically, that ends the conversation. If they say, yes, you know, my brother's a realtor, or yeah, we've been working with one, or yeah, someone called us off the internet, okay? And that ends the conversation, ends the relationship. So we're going to encourage you to be not typical, but unique.
And this opened actually an opportunity for myself, because they were working with an agent. The
Yes.
agent was not present.
Yes.
The agent was out of Kingwood.
Yes.
It was a long drive. They were not satisfied with the fact that it took them forever to get here.
Yes.
And they signed with me afterwards.
Yes. Okay.
I give the agent, of course, 25% referral so that they don't get mad.
Well, you said of course, but I'm going to say that was a nice gesture on your part that was probably unnecessary. In some cases, it might be necessary because you want to preserve good vibrations from that agent to the client, but there's no ethical or moral obligation on your part to do that, okay?
See, I did it more of the karma part.
Yes?
That I don't want.
I'm totally with you.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, and I just because I did it that way, and you know, sometimes you get.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's perfectly acceptable. I'm also going to say you're both a lot nicer than I am. That's right. We are figuring him out, aren't we? That's right. Lots of good karma floating around over there. Okay. All right, so instead of, are you currently working with a realtor, we're going to ask, well, how are you going about finding your perfect home? Okay, so it's not who, but what. What process are you using? Well, you're typically going to get a blank stare, okay? What process are you using? Well, I don't know. I mean, we're searching on the internet, okay? Whatever comes out of their mouth is going to reflect a random process rather than an intentional process. So here's what you follow up with. Well, how would you like to use a proactive process that will assure you get the home you want and, more importantly, want the home you get? I'll explain that dialogue at some point, okay? Unless you want to know now. It's important. Okay, so here's what it means, okay? Get the home you want, okay? That means that we find a home that meets your criteria, meets all your needs and a good deal of your wants, okay? But have you ever had an experience, either personally or with clients, where, let's just use your personal experience, you buy a home, okay, and you're like, it's perfect. And then 6 months later, you have a different opinion, okay? So you got the home you wanted, but then you didn't want the home you got, okay? And that could be because you didn't understand the taxes, It could be because you fell in love with the home, but you didn't know what was going on in the neighborhood, okay? Or you loved the home and the neighborhood, but you didn't know they were about to put in the grand parkway behind your back fence, okay? So by using a proactive process, you get the home you want, but because it's going to be proactive and thorough, we'll make sure 6 months from now, 6 years from now, you want the home you got, okay? All right. So first we need to meet. We'll go through that dialogue, deeper levels, blah, blah, blah. Now, what if they say, I'm working with an agent? What process are you using to find your perfect home? Well, we're working with an agent. Are you ever going to hear that?
Yes.
Very commonly. Even whether they are or aren't, many will say that to kind of put you off because they know that's the conversation killer with most agents. So again, oh, we're working with an agent. Great. You stay right on your process dialogue. Well, what process are you using to assure that you get the home you want and want the home that you get? What are they going to say? Well, I don't know, my realtor is sending me some stuff, okay? Something along that line. Didn't your realtor, whatever they say, come back with this assumptive response? Well, didn't your realtor sit down with you and first uncover your needs, make sure the home fits within your financial parameters, and thoroughly discuss roles and expectations? How many realtors have done that? You're going to presume that everybody's done it because that's what you do, but it's going to reveal that perhaps they're not using as proactive a process as they thought. That whatever their realtor is doing for them falls short of this. Okay? So if they say no, would you see value using a process like that? Most people will say yes. Or how are they going to say no? I don't know. I don't want to be proactive and intentional, okay? I don't want to make sure it fits within my financial comfort zone. They're going to have to agree with that, okay? So if they say yes, well then now you got to come back to the realtor issue. Did you sign anything with your realtor? Okay? What are we concerned about here? What's the landmine? Buyer's rep agreement. If they signed a buyer's rep agreement, you got to be hands off. You have to back off at this point, otherwise you are interfering.
They have, but they wanted me to work with them.
So how do you undo that?
Well, what happened is they came in at 3:55, 5 minutes before the open house ended. I was carrying the stuff out the way.
Yes.
And they pulled in. And they said, can we still look at the house? I said, of course, I'm just cleaning up
yes.
the house. I dropped the cookies, I was on the floor. So they started looking at the house, and I talked to them. Do you like the house? Have you been looking at homes? Yes, we have a realtor in Kingwood, but she can't come out every time, and every time we ask her to come out to show us the house, she doesn't get here until 2 days later, and then there's an offer on the house.
Right.
So that was like, she is working with someone, but they are having problems.
Yes.
So I told her, well, if you ever have questions, I'll be more than happy to do so. And she said, well, we're looking to change our realtor. Whenever you want, I'm here, I'll help you. They stayed in the house for about 15 minutes and then they left. And I was in my car driving away, and I got this call right away. Hey, Sahir, we were just at your open house. Can you show us a house? Right around the corner. We missed the open house there. Of course. Sure. Turned around, went, showed them the house, and from then on they kept calling me instead of their realtor, and they called the realtor and told them that they are firing them.
Did they have a buyer's rep agreement?
They did.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to say you got lucky.
I did.
Because maybe that's why you paid the referral fee.
How is it that he got lucky? Because a buyer can fire their realtor at any time.
Oh, the buyer's rep agreement does not say that.
No.
It's a contract for a specified period of time. Okay. Technically, what you did was a violation of that. So, so my counsel to you would be, if they're under a buyer's rep agreement, back off and say, as long as that contract is in force, I'm not permitted to get involved.
But unfortunately, they're
But
Oh.
in this case, they called their realtor.
Yes.
They told her what's going on. They told her we want to work with someone in the area.
Yes.
And are you willing to do that?
Yes.
And the realtor said, yes, I'm fine with that if we do a referral.
Yes. Okay. That's a perfect scenario where there's a cooperation and agreement between the buyer and their buyer's rep agreement agent to break that agreement for consideration, which in this case was a referral fee. But in the absence of that, you're interfering with a contract and you're putting your license at risk.
Well, my question to that is, as an agent, are you really going to pursue the buyer as well as the other agent? Obviously, they were unsatisfied with your quality of work or whatever you were providing them, and they went to another agent. So now I'm going to say, no, even though I sucked as a realtor, I deserve that.
No, most realtors will say, if you're unhappy with my service, sure, I'll let you out of this.
Yeah.
You just can't presume that.
Okay, so should he have legally said, no, I'm not going to show you this home around the corner?
Well, the proper thing is to say, I am not permitted to work with you by the terms of your buyer's representation agreement. As long as this agreement is in force, I'm not permitted to. It would be considered interference. As much as I would like to help you, I'm not permitted to.
This is getting off topic a little bit, but my instance where I had someone on the phone say no, they are not working with an agent, and I drive and I show them and they love the property, and she's like, you know, in 2.5 hours my husband is going to be off and can you show us again? Through that exchange I found out they did have an agent, not from the woman but from the college-age daughter. They wanted me to spend another 2.5 hours waiting to show, only because their realtor was out of town. And it's like, so through that course of conversation, you know, I was getting used.
Yes.
You know, and it's a terrible